It's a really beautiful day. A little earlier, we chatted about the parent-teacher meetings. A lot of them are happening this week. Mine is last night. Yours is this evening. It's fantastic. I told you and I promised you that I'm going to bring in a proper person who has teaching experience to weigh in on the conversation. So please welcome your good friend, Alan. Alan.
Mr. Committie, if you don't mind. What a delight. These chairs are very uncomfortable, but it's such a delight. First of all, the position you've put me in the studio is so much better. I don't have to look at Carl for the listener at home. He's put me on his side, and I'm looking at the gorgeous and delightful Tarryn, who, as you know, took my job. And there's no anger.
It wasn't my fault.
I know it's not your fault. You're amazing.
My fault. You're amazing.
I thought it would be the two of us. I thought they would get rid of Carl.
Oh, but
That would make a lot of sense if you think about it.
Sense. You don't have to be doing radio. There's something else you can do.
Of course.
You're so talented.
he's
Thank
a singer
you.
as well, Alan.
Chico the clown at the spur.
No.
My goodness, you could be the literal Chico on
I could be. They could serve me.
That's right.
In that little silver bowl that they serve the ice creams in.
It's a bit small. We might lose. He's gone. He's gone. Man overboard in the ice cream. Waffle alert. And then people, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
I don't know what I've been told. Alan is getting old. You know, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That turned personal.
Wow.
Class dismissed.
Alan Committie, it is so good to see you again. And since we've had our lovely conversation and our stint in radio, you've had a show. And I just mentioned that you were coming to the show and people just threw in their reviews.
Oh, did they?
Yes. In fact, I've got one here and it says, it is so good. The one that says, it's Paloma. Paloma says, Alan Committie's new show is a must watch. I have been there and he is absolutely brilliant. Best comedian ever. He had us all in stitches. That's what Paloma said.
Now, to be fair, I did have a huge needle and I was throwing it at them. So the stitches there might be a literal thing. And I apologize. It was a very tough Tuesday night. I lost my temper. But for the most part, Paloma, thank you. You're very kind with your words. And we've had a blast. We've been on since the 20th of December.
Yeah.
This is week 6. We've only got a week and a bit left at beautiful theatre on the Bay. And I thought, well, before I leave, dan moet ek bietjie kom kuier.
For those who have not enjoyed Fast and Reasonably Furious.
That's right. That's the title. Yeah.
So I would love to know, because there's one thing about you being a teacher, that your flip chart comes out. And
Always.
I love the fact that everything that you say has this hilarious connection to things. So this particular show, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Why do you call it this?
So for two reasons. One, I'm a big fan of that movie series, the franchise, Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Love it. It's been 10. I think part 10 is out now. The last one is also part 1 of 3 of the End trilogy. And that follows the quadrology, which was in the middle, which was a spin-off of Calvin and Hobbes. And then Hobbes and Shaw, which was part 2 of Star Wars, which was made in 1970s before the 1990s Indiana Jones part 5.
Yes.
You know, mathematically, watching movies these days is a big challenge. So that's number 1. Number 2, I have a question.
Yes.
If this movie is about family, because you know Vin Diesel, he always says to us, this movie is about
Yeah.
it's family.
Yeah.
If it's about family, why doesn't he drive a Passat station wagon? Why is he in these 2-seater sports cars? Because that doesn't strike me as family. Hy lieg. He's lying. And I don't like it. I don't like dishonesty. That's number 2. Number 3, I think 2023 last year was all about being too fast and a little bit too furious. We kind of spoke about it the last time I was here. And many of us have been waiting for the start of a new year where it's calmer. Well, guess what? It ain't. We're still on the roller coaster.
Nope.
So this show unpacks a little bit of some of that madness that's out there, and the fact that actually we're angry about things we shouldn't be angry about. You know, there's a lot to be angry about. Corruption, despotic leaders, wars being waged around the world. Instead, I get angry at why people play paddle, and do they pronounce it padel or padel? Verstaan jy? If you can't pronounce it, don't play it. That's what I'm saying. I'll tell you what else irritates me since you asked.
No, I did.
When you get sticky fingers and you're at a restaurant and the waiter brings you a refresher towel and then it's vacuum packed in a piece of plastic that needs dry hands to open it up so you can clean your wet fingers.
Right.
And then they've got a little tear in the top corner to show you where the strongest point is in the packaging, because that's the one place that it cannot break. That's the same force that keeps, I think it's the same force that keeps Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith together. That is an entanglement. Nee, ek sê net die waarheid. I'm telling you the truth now. It irritates me so much.
Well, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I know that you have this this connection to the world in that particular way, and you see it in a different way, and I love that about you. And it's a show that it's a must-see, guaranteed. What else can we expect from the show? Do you do it in 2 parts or 1 part?
2 parts. We've
or
got
10 parts?
No,
like
no.
Fast and the Furious.
Well, it's a good point. X. Number 10.
X. Yeah, Fast X.
It's in 2 parts. We put in an interval for free in the middle.
Oh, wow.
And you can use those 20 minutes in any way that you want. You can even convert it to e-bucks, I think. I don't know what the new T's and C's are. And then you can collect it at a spa. I don't know. This is not my business. My business is entertaining people.
Yes.
But we have got a 20-minute interval.
Great.
And in a flip chart, I explain the difference between the Springboks and the Proteas. Now, as many people know, the Proteas in so many ways are a cricket side. And then the Springboks, and why the one has won 4 World Cups and the Proteas cricket side have had 8 hiccups. And that's a big difference. And that we unpack on the flip chart. And then I've got a motivational speaker who you'd love, Carly. He comes and shares a lot of wisdom because he's worked in a very toxic work environment and he was self-employed. So he had to deal with that. Think about that. He worked in a toxic work environment and he was self-employed. I don't want to have to explain the jokes.
No, that's okay. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I should have been on. Where's John Matham? Yes, I missed
You
that
know,
guy.
I miss John as well.
I miss him.
Another guy that should have taken my job.
He's retired now, hasn't he?
No, he's still
Hasn't
there.
he?
No,
That's a
he's still-
surprise.
still
Anyway, shh, leave it.
John!
Love you, John. Now, the
Yes.
show is filled with all kinds of excitements.
Oh,
and then,
man.
of course, I talk a little bit about, because I guess you want to circle back to a bit of this teaching thing.
Yes, please.
You know, children, I don't have children. I'm 50. I turned 50. That's the other thing I talk about. I
Yeah.
turned 50 2 weeks ago. I don't have children. I wanted children for about 5 years, Tarryn.
Yeah.
But my partner wanted them forever. And so we couldn't reach an agreement. And so I just decided I will work with my nieces and my nephews who I delight in.
Yeah.
And they are wonderful. You've got kids now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're a challenge.
You know what? A challenge in the best type of way,
Okay.
in a lot of ways, but also I
Listen
think
to how he sells it.
your,
Yep.
you know, but but I'm saying
Yeah.
your intelligence is often questioned when you have kids.
Right.
Like remember there was the drought, and I said to my kid, I said, don't forget you need to wash your hands and flush the toilet when you're done with the toilet. Cool, sharp dad,
Sharp.
right? Comes out of the toilet one day, looks at me with the same information I gave him. I said, you need to save water. He looks and I said, why don't you wash your hands? He looked at me and he said, it's because you said I must save water.
Yeah. You see, this is it. They will hold all the information
All of it.
and use it against you.
That's the thing.
You know, the truth is, some kids are dangerous. My 9-year-old niece, I was playing giddy up with her the other
Yeah.
day, and I fell off. And I hurt myself so badly. No, it was terrible. No, man. No, but she must concentrate. Silly girl.
You know, on the topic of kids, one thing we didn't do, Tarryn, we actually didn't do Kittypedia earlier. And when we have a guest like this, somebody who can answer any question on the planet,
This is
Yeah.
a
I
perfect
think
idea.
here we go.
Okay, tell me,
If
what's
it-
this now?
So,
This is perfect.
okay, number one, let's start there. Are you willing to give away any tickets to your show? I'm sorry to be very Cape Townian.
No, I
here.
like that very much. No, I am happy to do that. Yeah, let's do that. We've got 1 week left.
Yes.
This weekend is sold out. Tonight there's some tickets, but this weekend is
Okay,
sold out.
great.
And I think the last weekend is practically sold out. But we've got shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I would absolutely give a set of double tickets away.
Lovely. So
love that.
your kids could win you tickets. So you need to get your kid to ask Alan
Anything.
Yes.
anything. And if
Yes.
this particular question, according to Alan, is the best question that he's received out of the Kittypedia session,
Right.
your parents will get some tickets to the show.
love this.
How about that?
This is
Kittypedia
exciting.
needs work as a title, but I'm hearing what you're saying.
It's Wikipedia.
Yeah, no,
but
I can see what
I'm
you.
just letting you know.
I know what you're trying to do.
Yes, I know.
I'm just saying.
It's just, and also you go to a pediatrician.
Yeah.
So
no.
that we
Oh,
see-
I hear all of that.
I know
logic.
you do.
I'm
You-
just
you
saying.
hear
It needs to go
everything
back to the
I
flip
think
chart.
you need to come and visit us more often, Alan. I love you.
You have no idea. I've been doing it for years, thinking the same thing.
Please tell me why adults always have to say no when it comes to doing fun things.
You heard that?
Yeah, and that's a good question. I don't know what what's the young kid's name? Are we allowed to say? Let's
not
call
just
it Kid One.
Kid
Okay, so
One, yes.
Kid One, thank you so much. You've got a lovely voice and a great question. Adults will say no because fundamentally we lose fun. You know, adults are angry people. You're not angry when you're a kid. You're free. I can just hear it in your voice. You've got a beautiful life ahead of you. It's only when you get to plet rage that the anger is let out. And then you become angry like the old people around you. And you know why they look so ugly? Because of the anger. And they would still stay beautiful if they stopped being angry. Sorry for that for your life. But take their no, and remember, a no often means reasonably maybe, unless it really is strong no. And then it's a kind of okay, but possibly.
Thank you very much, kid number 1. Kid number 2 has come through.
Uncle Alan, why do we get lollipops from the dentist if we came to the dentist for a toothache in the first place?
Oh my goodness. Now, first of all, I'm going to take some points off for calling me Uncle Alan because I'm younger than you think, you little boy. Anyway, but number 2 is your question was a very good one and it makes sense. And this is something you'll learn as you get older. Capitalism means that dentists need to make more money than even they know what to do with. And so they are helping you get sick so that you can come and visit them more often than you have to. And that comes from the legal term, the tooth, the whole tooth and nothing but the tooth. I hope that was helpful.
That was really helpful. Thank you, kid. Kid number 3.
Hello, Uncle Alan.
Oh.
I wanted to know if dinosaurs' extinction was because of an asteroid or the volcanoes.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's always one kid who's a little brighter than the others. Hey, this one is going to go far. Very far. Probably Paris. So she wants to know about the dinosaurs.
So the dinosaurs.
Asteroids?
So, was it the asteroid that killed them or the volcanoes?
Yeah. Focus on things that happened today, okay? All right? You're irritating coming here with your little questions. No one cares about the dinosaurs. A lot of those dinosaurs are now in Parliament, and we don't care for them. Move on to something that makes sense. I'm also sending you love, though. You're a lovely person, and good luck for all that you do, except for that one thing.
And last,
right,
but not least, the final question is...
Alan, who do you think is better, Telkom or Eskom?
Here we go.
Young satirist. I like it when they ask these kind of questions. First of all, huge points for just calling me Alan.
Yes.
I mean, we're basically peers now. This is incredible. Telkom or Eskom? I'll tell you what's happened now with Eskom. They're now burning SAA planes just to fuel the Eskom plants. So that's a problem. And Telkom, if it doesn't do anything, we don't even recognize it. You can't. The face doesn't even ring a bell. Never mind Telkom. Nia, I'll tell you what the problem is. All of those are problems, my friend. And the fact that you even called not using Telkom, because I could hear by the nature of your call, you used probably Vodacom, but on the last air minutes that your parents could afford. So thank you for those wonderful questions. I loved all of them. Those are bright kids.
They are great kids. It's difficult to choose.
It is.
So what do you want to do?
You know what I've got to do is I quite like the smart kid number 3.
Yes.
Who I didn't want to reply, and I was a bit mean to that kid because I said that they must concentrate on things that are more up to date. Yeah. And so, do I give that kid the tickets, knowing that they're not going to go? Their parents will take it. You know who I'm going to give it to?
Who?
The number 1 kid. Shame, because they said no, and the parents have to live with a kid who keeps having to say no. I'm not going to give it to number 1. I just got their hopes up.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
true.
I'm not going to give it to number 1. Number 2. I don't like the number 2, so I'm not going to give it to number 2. I like number 4. Let's give number 4 the tickets. Makes me happy.
Telkom or Eskom?
Go on.
Well
Love
done.
it.
You
Good
just won
question.
tickets to Fast and Reasonably Furious.